Do you think the current regime doesn't value interior defensive linemen? And will that change now that Jim Schwartz is the offensive coordinator? Again, this is from your mailbag. I kind of twisted it.
I would say yes and yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the first 3 years with Andrew Berry's GM, they would sign Andrew Billings to a 1-year contract, and then Malik Jackson to a 1-year contract, Taven Bryan to a 1-year contract. And they're modest deals, right? Nobody's breaking the bank. The highest draft pick spent on D-tackle was a 3rd rounder in Jordan Elliott. So there weren't any big-time resources spent at that position, and I think there was a reason for that. They would say, okay, we're not going to neglect D-tackle, but it's not going to be a priority like defensive end, like corner, like offensive line. I think that changes with Jim Schwartz because Schwartz made it obvious in his press conference and just throughout his career how much he relies on a dominant front four for his defense to be successful. He says that's the way you beat teams is by getting a pass rush with your front four. Then you control when you blitz, you take pressure off the coverage, and you can't do that with just Myles Garrett. And you can't even do that with Myles Garrett and another big-time end. You need the guys in the middle, especially if you play that wide technique, right, where the ends are outside the tackle or outside the tight ends. You need some tackles that can hold up. And I certainly didn't think, Jordan Elliott and Taven Bryan and Tommy Togiai and Perry and Winfrey did that this year. So I think there needs to be an influx, and I think that's something Jim Schwartz, if he already hasn't, will make abundantly clear that better be a priority in this offseason.
Yeah, I would imagine those conversations happen during the interview process, but you never know.